Hello, welcome to the MacKay, the Scotland Today video blog, and today we're going to be talking about the Scottish Broadcasting Commission's recommendations on a new digital channel dedicated to Scotland. And with us is STV Managing Director Bobby Hain. Bobby, what's STV's reaction to the announcement from the Scottish Broadcasting Commission?
Well, I think the main announcement being the channel, we have warmly welcomed. This is something that in our evidence to the Commission and the submission that we made, we had suggested a channel, and I'm glad that that's been taken on board. There are different flavours of channel, and they've chosen to go down a fully funded through public money route, which I think is a big ask. £75 million, as they suggest. It's a big idea, it's a big vision, but it's a lot of money, and what we had suggested was a mixed funding ecology which would have some commercial monies in addition to some public intervention.
It's going to be difficult to get £75 million of public money, is it not? Where's that going to come from?
Well, there is this suggestion that the BBC, which gets an £800 million digital switchover supplement, might be able to use some of that money, or that money could be freed up post-digital switchover for this kind of investment in public service broadcasting. And you have to remember that Ofcom is looking at public service broadcasting in the round, and there is a suggestion that to preserve and sustain some levels of public service broadcasting which are under threat now, there will have to be some settlement which involves the application of public funds. So it could come from that same kind of pot.
I suppose one of the other arguments will be that given the number of channels we already have, digital channels, you've also got BBC Scotland, you've got STV, why the requirement for another channel?
Well, I think it's a very good way of putting it, which I've heard of the last few days, which is if you sit with the Sky Guide or you sit with the the Virgin Media cable guide and you look at the hundreds of channels that are digital, actually what happens is there isn't a single channel from Scotland. There isn't a single channel about Scotland. I guess STV and BBC Scotland are the closest you've got, but even we are both parts of UK networks. There's not a single dedicated Scottish channel, and I suppose this is the reason behind why it's been mooted.
How would STV play a part in this new channel? How would you envisage STV being involved?
Well, I think the idea of starting a channel which is, if you like, an orphan channel that doesn't have any connection to the existing infrastructure would seem to be very expensive and a bit of a waste of money. Why duplicate the kind of infrastructure we've got in this building, or for that matter the BBC? If you look at how the Gaelic channel has evolved, it's a partnership between the GMS monies and the BBC, and there's no reason why STV, which already has a building, fantastic facilities, we've got an infrastructure around Scotland, we've got a new service that we could adapt and enhance and provide for the channel. We've got lots of the component parts of any new channel already, so I think it would make sense to talk to us very closely about what we could do for them.
And what sort of timescale would we be talking about?
Well, I think there are two aspects to the timescale. How long does it take you to start a channel? It probably takes 18 months to 2 years to build up the stock, to get your transmission ready, to have programmes on the shelf ready to go, to hire people, train people and so on. But the bigger question is having the money. You can't do any of that stuff until you've actually got the funding ready to go. So how long is a piece of string? I think that's the first hurdle to overcome.
But do you think it's a definite goer?
Well, I think it's been very warmly received. I haven't heard anybody say it's a terrible idea. There's now a question mark about, is the funding appropriate? Is it too expensive? And there are questions about the channel, but it has been roundly welcomed, and I think it seems to make sense.
Bobby, thanks for that.
Thank you.
And that's a debate that's going to continue, and we'll see you in Scotland Today tonight at 6 o'clock.